Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. If you guys could subscribe here, that'd be cool. Also, the Tobin and Leroy Show, weekdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WQAM's YouTube page. You guys can watch us every single weekday. And check out the shenanigans that we get into. Tonight, Game 5 of the NBA Finals. We'll see if the Dallas Mavericks can extend this thing or if the Celtics will be wearing top hats and monocles for the gentleman's sweep. But I wanted to bring up something that was very weird. I had not watched it up until today. I had seen the videos. I had seen the clips on Twitter. I just hadn't chosen to watch this other than like the memes that had kind of gone from it. And that was Joel Embiid and Paul George showing up together on the NBA Finals analyst desk with Stephen A., Will Bond, Kendrick Perkins, and Malika Andrews. What a weird thing, huh? That was a strange appearance. And you probably wondered to yourself, Tobes, it's a Heat channel. What does this have to do with anything? Well, a couple of things. One, they're a Heat conference rival. I use rival very loosely because, what the hell have they done? But they're a Heat conference rival, and they have been reported to have interest in Jimmy Butler should this duo that is peacocking around the NBA Finals not come together. And that was actually the first reaction I had to the Jimmy Butler Philadelphia 76ers extension report, which I found hilarious because it's like, here we are 5 years later, and the Philadelphia 76ers are still treating Jimmy Butler like he is a plan B. And it is funny because I really don't think after seeing that, how does Paul George go up there? Which, by the way, he goes up there and Paul, immediately a look into your future, dude, because this Joel Embiid, he is a mic and spotlight hog, dude. So just keep it in mind if you are thinking about signing in Philadelphia and you are thinking about, should I go to Philadelphia? At least your running mate in LA with the Clippers, at least he doesn't say two words. Like if they're coming to anybody's opinion on anything, they're going to PG-13. They ain't going to Joel Embiid, old blabbermouth over here, who's just got 100 things to say about, the Celtics, they're not going to be able to stay together because of the CBA, and I just need luck to break one. Who has had more luck break their way than this guy when it comes to teammates and credentials? And he may be stumbling into another one, and he has the audacity to talk about luck breaking his way. But it is interesting from a Heat perspective because it's going to do two things. One, Paul George will make fun of it for sure, but it is going to make the Heat fan a bit of a basket case because yet again, the Miami Heat fan is going to sit here and they're going to go another year seeing possibly the Celtics raise a championship. The Bucks maybe get to actually, have a healthy contingent of Giannis and Dame go at it. If Damian Lillard remains in Milwaukee and, who knows what the hell that goes. And then you're going to see Paul George be added to Tyrese Maxey, who the Heat fans are already mad they missed out at, and Joel Embiid. And you're going to be sitting here with another version of Run It Back and your top 5 pick. And you're going to be like, what the hell, dude? How are we sitting here? We're still doing nothing. And it's not even, I think, in a case of that I would be terrified of a Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey contingent. I don't think I would be. Though the fit is nice. The fit does seem like it could be seamless. They're just not, they're not playoff sharks that I worry about in those waters. But I will very much be expecting the Miami Heat fan to be very annoyed should Paul George land with the Philadelphia 76ers because no doubt about it, we are going to see them on national television a ton. We are going to not stop hearing about it. This is actually the best teammate that Joel Embiid has ever had. And that's going to be nonstop. But the question is, does that actually fold back into the Miami Heat having more leverage or less worry about Jimmy Butler and the extension? Because that's another interesting thing and an interesting caveat that we're going to maybe get answers to this week, because we'll be in a spot where Miami is sitting here after this NBA Finals concludes, maybe it is tonight, maybe it goes 6, maybe it goes 7, who knows? Whenever it concludes, that is when you can start talking to your own guys and start giving extensions. So you could start seeing some new deals be handed out to Donovan Mitchell, for example. You could see new deals be handed out to Paul George if he stays with his own team. You could see it, LeBron James stay with the Lakers. You could see Jimmy Butler get his extension with the Heat. Bam Adebayo. You could see these own guys get their contracts once this series concludes. If we do find out, if we do find out the Miami Heat aren't jumping 2 feet in, and according, from Pat Riley's words, it doesn't appear that way, that they're in any rush to do it. In fact, the first thing Pat Riley said, really when asked about it, was, well, we don't have to do it yet. We don't have to do it yet. We've given the other ones. We don't have to do this one right away. Leads you to believe they're not too keen on it. Then we go to the mode of, okay, does Jimmy Butler and his team go full court press of making a stink? And does that take a hit from their standpoint if there is no Philadelphia 76ers? Because it's easy to talk about, it's out here in the ether that Jimmy Butler and the Sixers are willing to, give Jimmy Butler his max and give him everything that he wants. But it's a little tougher to do that if their actual first choice is to go with Paul George, because they don't have to give up any assets. With Jimmy, they would have to trade the Heat. I would imagine a heap of draft picks. I imagine the Heat aren't going to they're not going to do it for nothing. And unless this is some kind of warped 3-way deal, I can't imagine the Miami Heat being in a scenario where they're going to just give Jimmy Butler off to the Philadelphia 76ers for less than a multiple first-round picks. And if it doesn't go like that, then I don't know. I don't think this is going to be one where, even if Jimmy Butler's going to be like, hey, make this happen, or I'm going to be, they're going to be like, hey, dude, hey, kick rocks. We're not gonna play ball like that. Ultimately, I hope none of this happens. By the way, I am very much. I always feel like when they do these Jimmy Butler segments, I have to put the disclaimer in here. I want Jimmy Butler to retire with the Miami Heat. I want Jimmy Butler to get his max extension with the Miami Heat. I want Jimmy Butler to hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy with the Miami Heat. I do not want the Miami Heat to trade Jimmy Butler. Tobin disclaimer over. But on the other side of this, if you're Jimmy's team and you're his agent and you lose the leverage that is Philadelphia, okay, then where does it go? There's reports that multiple teams are willing to offer him a max, right? That was the report that had come out, that not only are the Philadelphia 76ers, but multiple teams are. I feel like the team that makes the most sense if Jimmy Butler were to go anywhere is the New York Knicks. And I have, Knicks fans who are good friends in my life, and they, aren't the biggest Jimmy Butler fans. I said, well, get ready, because Jimmy and Tibbs reunion, Jimmy and Tibbs part 3 could definitely be it would be something that I would find to be, because they also have high picks and they have a bevy of options that they could go with. Also have some pieces. Wouldn't it be something if Precious Achiuwa ended up back with the Heat? Just in the Jimmy Butler deal. Let's have some fun. But if that does become the case, that New York would then become the top team. Okay, well then they got to maneuver. How do they make that happen? You look to LA, the Clippers always seem like an obvious team. The Lakers are definitely looking to make some kind of a splash. So I'm not saying that without the Philadelphia 76ers, the well is dry for Jimmy's team to go look for a max. According to them, they have multiple teams already, and I'm sure they are aware that PG-13 is Philadelphia's first choice. But when I saw this weekend, I was like, man, Joel Embiid seems like he's already got his mind made up. Jimmy looks like he's got a new best friend, dude. I mean, here was Jimmy Butler all along trying to recruit Joel Embiid to the Miami Heat, being like, I know a place where villains are welcome. And what does Joel Embiid do? He gets goo eyes for another player, rats off a ship, just like that. That's how that goes. So I don't know. I cannot stress enough how much I root against him from this. It's just, he should be so fun because of his size, what he can do on a court, but it's the falling all over the place. It's always throwing everybody under the bus. It's always got an excuse. It's always somebody else's fault. And I just am like, come on, dude. Like always, it's always somebody else. Anywho, so maybe Jimmy enjoys being Plan B. Maybe that's what he. Maybe that's what he envisions when this whole thing was going down this summer. But Joel Embiid very clearly seems to have his Plan A right there, arm in arm at the NBA Finals.